Well, welcome to our session, Connect with RevUp, the secret sauce to retaining top talent. And I'm pleased and grateful for you guys to come today to our session. So, what I want to cover today is to help you learn the value of retaining top
Where's
talent
what, honey?
to your bottom line. The second thing I want to share is tips and strategies to help you succeed in keeping that top talent. Then I want to cover rev up your company and how you can create that positive work culture. And lastly, I want to kind of share with you people management skills and how you can build those with confidence. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am the founder and president of People Bright Consulting. We are a full service HR consulting firm, which means we provide HR strategic planning, compliance policies and procedures, recruitment, and the key that I love, the part that's passionate for me, is really helping people with their management training skills because I feel people are the greatest assets, and learning how to be the best manager, the best boss is really key to helping you grow your business. I'm an award-winning work culture specialist. My husband and I had an engineering firm several years back, and we actually created a special place, and I'll talk a little bit more about that during the presentation. We were recognized as one of the top 10 best workplaces in Canada twice. And that's the secret sauce that I want to share with you. How did we become that? And now I know that you can also become a better, stronger workplace by adopting some of the secret strategies that I have. I started a podcast recently where it's called Rev Up Your Potential with Hilda Gan, and it's a podcast about entrepreneurs and industry leaders and the success of their journey. Perhaps people who are not on mute could mute their phones because I can hear, or their computers because I can hear. Thank you. Uh, so it is a if you like hearing about people through and learning through stories, then you'll love this podcast because it talks about the struggles and the successes of people. So let's get into it. Myth or reality? People are your greatest assets. So I'm going to pop up with a poll here for you and going to ask you to, oh, Jenny, you did that, to answer these following questions. What are some of your beliefs around keeping top talent? And it's a multiple choice question, so pick all of those that apply. And we're going to give you about, a few minutes, or not, about a minute to answer. So can everybody see it? I see people are starting to respond, so appreciate that. And we'll give it another 10 seconds. So if you can put in your response, that would be really, really great.
So Hilda, I'm not seeing the results this time, so feel free to share.
Okay, so Jenny and our tag team, sometimes she sees the results, sometimes I see the results. It's always a surprise. Okay, we're going to share these results now. So 100% of you said that investing in people because they are the greatest assets. A great work culture yields better profit and sales. And 100% of you said rewarding top talent will help them stay longer. Two-thirds of you said work culture is strained when recognition goes to preferred staff. And I think some of you might have seen this in your own organizations and appreciated. Nobody said investing in people is a poor return on investment. They just leave anyways. And I guess, to be honest, people probably wouldn't have signed up for this if that's what they thought. Okay, so I don't really have to convert too many of you to understanding that people are the greatest assets. Kind of gave that away. So what I want to share with you now is that our research, in Fortune 100, in Fortune magazine, there was a, a cover story on 100 best companies to work for. And the people that wrote the article are from the Great Workplace Institute. And what they said was, in the Fortune 100 best companies, they've identified statistically that those companies actually delivered stock market returns that were 2 to 3 times greater than the other companies that didn't hit that 100 best list. So what I'm trying to share with you is there is evidence that great workplaces actually win when it comes to revenue growth, employee retention, productivity, innovation, resiliency, agility, customer service, employee engagement, and much more. So, statistically, there is evidence that putting money, investing in people, and having a great place to work really does make a difference. And they went on to say that what they found, it doesn't matter. It's not just size. It's not the big corporations. It's every corporation, every organization, business, regardless of size. If you have these three elements, it creates a winning formula. So build trust for the people that they work with. They take pride in what they do and they enjoy the people they work with. So I'll repeat that again. Trust in the people that you work with, take pride in the work that you do, and enjoy the people that you work with, because these are really secret sauce recipe wins. Furthermore, in the Great Place to Work, they identified 6 things that they felt really helped these companies grow 3 times faster in revenues. That is a set of values, having innovation, fostering that and resulting in financial growth, key of having leadership effectiveness, looking at your people and maximizing human potential and developing trust. So these are the key elements that they created a great place to work standard. And I'd mentioned that my husband and I, when we had our company iTRANS, we were actually one of the top 10 of the 50 best workplaces in Canada. This financial 100 list for Fortune was actually put on by the Great Place to Work Institute, the very same organization that has best workplaces in 60 countries around the world. So we did this. And in our company, we did have values that we really focused on creating. We did focus on our staff and manager potential and built a trusting relationship. So many of these key elements was what made us successful. So I want to just focus on 3 things today. And the first one is about the values piece. Mission, vision, and values is the foundation to success. And it doesn't matter what size. I think a lot of us who've worked in corporations have a big choke when it comes to mission, vision, and values. You spend 2 days in strategic workshops and you come up with something and you post it on a wall, and it's like a what I'll call a mulligatawny soup, a mixture of a whole bunch of people. As a business owner, you actually have the ability to create one that is really focused on your company, your vision and values, and you can make it happen. So, what I want to share with you is how is that foundation the key to success? It starts with mission and vision and values. And create that and make sure it's very clear, because that forms the foundation that helps you develop the next layer. So start with that foundation and build upon it. Building upon it means that you look at your operations, your people, and your business, and it should flow from that mission, vision, and values. Let me give you a quick example. If I was a quality driven company, I did something that was quality based, like maybe I do security checks. You want to make sure your operations are quality driven. You'll have lots of checks and balances, and the people you hire are probably detailed people that follow through on that, and the clients you have are the result of the business. But take a retail store. The type of people that you want are different than the quality driven people. They're more the customer focus as a key priority. And the clients you want are ones that really want to purchase your products. And therefore, the operations that you have are really more focused on making sure the customer journey is excellent versus the quality driven data. So you see what I'm driving at is that start with a mission, vision, and values and build on that. And when you build on those people skills, then all of your processes will reflect the type of people that you want and then based on the mission, vision, and values. So that's number one. Have a strong mission, vision, and values. And that will keep your top talent from staying because number one, you'll pick the right people that follow your mission, vision, and values, and then it will flow from there. One key I want to tell you about is that in values, when you hire people, those values that they have should align with your values of your company. Because when they align, people are more likely to stay because they believe in the same fundamentals that you and the organization have. So the next one I want to highlight for you is maximizing the human potential and how do you retain top talent? Now, we do have a chat box, so if anything resonates with you, pop it in the chat line because this helps other people say, "Yeah, that's a great idea." Because I can give you some great ideas, but when other people add to that, it really adds to the richness of our session today. So, to understand top talent and retain them, it's important to understand why do people leave. So, I'm quoting this study that this man did. His name is Jan Tengzi, and he surveyed over the course of 10 years 8,509 people. And he asked them, he's a recruiter, and he asked them, "So, why are you thinking of leaving?" And he kept these statistics. So, this is the result of his statistics. And it lines up with other organizations like KPMG and Deloitte Touche who do studies like this from time to time. These are the top three in no particular order, but this is his order. Lack of opportunity to use your skills and abilities. In other words, we're not maximizing human potential and they want to move on. So they are, you know, tapping into their strengths and abilities. The second one is bad management. People do not want to stay when they feel stressed out by people who are bad managers. And the third one is a toxic workplace or culture. And that's costing your organization. When people who you value and want to stay don't stay, it costs your company. So it's important to try to foster a place where people want to stay. Let me give you some statistics on that. It costs between 130 to 150% of a person's salary if you're replacing somebody who's in a technical or administrative staff. If it's a manager level, that amount to replace the person could be as much as 1.5 to 1.75 times that salary. And if it's a senior level person or a top sales executive level, it can be double the salary or 3.5 times the salary. So you can imagine at a salesperson's level, if you're paying $200,000 for them, that's $400,000 to replace that one position. And even at the administrative level, it can be 1.5 times that salary. So it's not just the salary you're replacing. Think about the fact that you're doing without somebody, you're bringing in people within your staff to now start posting the job, hiring the person, interviewing, and then the orientation. And they never come up to speed quite as quickly as somebody's already there. And the reason why top salespeople can take double the salary is the new person won't generate the revenue as quickly as they're ramping up. So it will take the equivalent of 2 times salary. So this is a study by Equifax. So it costs money when people leave. So if you treat people like commodities, you are really paying a lot of money for this continuous cycle of replacing your talent. So how do you keep top talent? And I want to share with you the REVUP principles. REVUP sounds very energetic and exciting. And what I did was based on the success my husband and I had, I thought about how do I articulate that to others? How do I help a culture, a business build something similar to what we did, but for your organization? And we always treated our staff with this respect and equality. So everybody felt that they were equal in position and in importance as everybody else in the company. And we valued them, gave them good rewards and recognition. And then I thought there was more to it. And that's treating people with understanding who they are and treating them uniquely, and then tapping into that potential. So that's what Rev Up is about. And I won't go into a lot of detail, because if you're interested, I'm happy to share a little bit more. But let me talk about the uniqueness piece. When we look at people, if you look at them to see what they're capable of doing, look at those strengths and those abilities. And if you nurture those, can you imagine targeting those right kind of points will really escalate their career, will build up their ability to do certain kinds of skills with confidence. And that in turn helps the bottom line. So investing in people's uniqueness, I think, is a key to the success of your company. So imagine what your company can do when you adopt the RevUp principles. It can build the value of your organization. It can help build that trust. You're maximizing human potential. And when you do that, people will want to stay. And if you have leaders who really get it, who really are there to nurture their employees and and help the company deliver on what they do, this is a great way to build success. Any comments or thoughts at this point?
No, no.
Okay. So again, I want to just highlight one of the points, but each one of these points in itself can really help you build a resilient work culture. The next thing I want to focus on and highlight, again at a very high level, is as leaders, how can you lead for success? So, leaders can be a manager, it can be the owner of a business. And when I talk about leading people, it's not just leading staff, because some of you are maybe solopreneurs and you work with a bunch of partners or associates. You can develop and hone your leadership skills so that you can effectively pick the right partners and nurture that relationship, which again will build success in your own businesses. So, I'm going to talk about what your role is as a leader. So, you get promoted to your first job as a manager, or you decide to start your own business. So, you promoted yourself to the CEO of your company. The average age is approximately 36 years of age. And you have people who are in leadership roles as young as 25 for their first time, and 50 as well. So there's a range, but 36 is the average. How many of you have received some kind of training to hone and build your confidence and build your management leadership skills? So again, the study that I'm looking at, where 36 years is the average age people are promoted, 40 is the average age when people get their first formal training. We did a training course back in May 2 years ago, I guess, pre-COVID times, and one of the people was there, and he was a good manager, because he was a client of ours, and he was learning. I went in and did performance evaluation for them, and Paul said, you know, I'm here. I've been a manager for 20 years, and I'm kind of embarrassed to tell you this is my first training session that I've been at. And I already knew he was a good manager. He had the makings of a good manager. But again, that wasn't, that he didn't have that formal training. Imagine this, you get promoted, you're a new manager, you're 36 years old, and it takes you 4 years before you get some formal training. What does that mean? Well, what it means is that for 4 years, you're doing it on your own, figuring it out, trial and error, listening to people, but no formal training, no thought to how to do it. So imagine the kind of mistakes along the way and some of the successes, but it's really learning in a very kind of eclectic way. So, what I'm challenging people is to say, why are we allowing ourselves to kind of wing it or figure it out or do trial and error? Really, people should invest in promoting training for themselves to get it right, to build on future successes earlier in your career as a manager and leader versus later.
Yeah, and just to chime in here, Catherine did say yes, she did get training for managers, and
Yes.
they also offer that to their team leads.
Cool. And did you find that really was successful then? Did you feel that these stepping stones really helped you be a better manager sooner? That you didn't have to do trial and error? I think she's writing in the chat line now.
She said yes.
Yes, yes, of course. I was fortunate enough to work with a client who she was a fast startup company, and she hired people straight out of school and then started promoting them into roles that she envisioned building the company. So she called them the director of creativity, the director of operations, the director of the other things, and they were in their 20s. And she said, Hilda, I want these people to learn, my staff to learn how to be better managers quicker. And so I want to bring you in. And so we did a 10-week training program for them and taught them. And the beauty of that was that they learned quicker to understand what they needed to do to be a better manager. But also, I did a thing called Fascination Advantage, where it's an assessment tool to learn who they were. And that, together with the training program, really helped them discover the kind of manager they wanted to be and to have confidence in being that manager a heck of a lot sooner. So it was a wonderful journey for them. And I really enjoyed working with them because they were at the beginning of their journey. So, as a manager, I want to give you one more tip, and that's difficult conversations. So, how do you manage difficult conversations with confidence? So, what I want to do then is start poll number 2 with you. With respect to difficult conversations, pick all that apply. So, go ahead and fill out this poll. Okay, I think everybody's done, so we can end this poll and share the results. Oh, you do have control now, Jenny. All right. So it looks like 100% of you lose sleep on what you'll say or not say. And 100% of you are afraid how other people will react. Yeah, these got to be anxiety producing things, right? 75% said, I tend to avoid the conversation and put it off. And again, that says these are all human reactions, right? And the 50% said, I've been known to not speak up when a fellow employee does not pull their weight. I can tell you on this end, as a business owner, we would find out like 6 months into it when somebody says, that's it. They kind of had it. So now they tell us that somebody's not pulling their weight. And that's when we need to start assessing the capabilities of that person. But imagine for 6 months that staff put up with that. Um, they covered the workload, they picked up off the mistakes, and they were probably upset and angry and frustrated by the whole process. And the 25% of you say that I am confident in having that conversation. So some of you may still lose sleep, but when you do finally do the conversation, you're there. So appreciate the candor on that. These are very human things. What I want to do is I want to help people to not feel uncomfortable about having those conversations. There still may be sleepless nights or whatever, but if I can help you gain the confidence to get those discussions going, that would be a joy for me. So let me put some statistics to what we just shared in our poll. So this is a study that was done out of Utah in 2016, and 72% of people fail to speak up when a peer doesn't pull their weight. That's a lot of frustration that I just shared with you. 40% is the estimate that they spend 2 weeks or more wasted in time thinking about the problem and not addressing it. The study also goes on to say $7,500 is the average cost of a conversation, time lost, and resources that are utilized to avoid the conversation. That's $7,500. That's a lot of money. Can you imagine what's happening in organizations? Because it's not just one conversation that's not happening, it's many conversations that are not happening. So the impact that it has on morale, on the productivity, on the budget, all of this is really costing you. So if you can do anything for yourself as a manager, as a business owner, is get more comfortable with dealing with those difficult conversations, because that's going to save you money, that's going to improve the environment that you have, and it's going to help keep that top talent in your organization. So I will give you some tips and strategies. And if you want to learn more, I actually do practice sessions by having real case studies, and we practice it and you gain that confidence. Because oftentimes the first time you hear of a conversation that's awkward is that's a learning point, but you don't have that many over the course of years. So coming to a workshop where you actually learn about how to have these conversations and practice on gains more comfort. So I will give you some tips and strategies, and I really appreciate that you're staying and learning about these things. And for those that you stayed to the end, I do have a little gift for you. So the tips and strategies are: start from a neutral place. When you're dealing with a situation, let's have a disciplinary situation that you have to talk about. Maybe it's that person you finally find out not pulling their weight. Don't make an assumption. Start with facts. John, I noticed that you have been coming in late lately. Or, John, I've heard some comments about you, the work that you're doing. State what they are. Can you tell me a little bit more about them? And then listen, and then listen some more, because I think it's so easy for us to start, when we hear something, start formulating what the problem is, what the solution is, and you haven't even finished listening to what the person's saying. So start from a place of neutrality and then listen. Once you listen, then you share some of your observations, again, trying to either validate or stay neutral, and then work to resolve the situation. And when you work to resolve the situation, don't be afraid to say, I don't know the answer to that, because sometimes you may have to find out if there are implications that affect other departments, other people, or that is against the legislation. So you do have to do your homework. So you may not have an answer right away, and then make sure you do follow up with the conversation. So there are very different types of difficult conversations, but this is a formula that really can help you. And when you have those difficult conversations, you can actually start to strengthen relationships and build the trust that you need in your organization. So our secret sauce has really been about creating a strong foundation, as I said, and then building a culture that's positive. And as I said, from our success story to iTRANS, I created REVUP because it articulates very well what we did as a company. Then rev up your people management skills, because you are the key. You are that secret sauce that helps build your staff, that helps build your organization. And if you can manage these three things, you will have a business solution for success. Remember, I said the top three reasons people leave: the opportunity to maximize their potential, the the bad bosses, and the work culture. So when you create a formula like this, you can really build a strong company where your top talent will want to stay. As leaders, if you rev up your people management skills, you can push your business to the next level. So imagine what they said at the Great Place to Work is that companies that really invest in their people and have a strong, great place to work will grow 3 times faster, and that will result in a better workplace. And imagine as I said, if you could just even tackle those difficult conversations, the money that you would save and the confidence that you will build as you continue to practice those difficult conversations. I want to remind you about what the Rev Up was. It is 5 principles. So you can rev up your business. And those 5 principles are: treat people with respect and equality, value them for who they are, look at their uniqueness and tap into that potential. And that's words of wisdom, not just for your staff and how you treat them, but for you as an individual. If you treat yourself with respect and equality and look for your uniqueness, this is what you can do. So I thank you for for listening to some of these tips that I feel will help you retain that top talent and build a strong work culture. And I think if you're interested in learning more and to gain that confidence, I invite you to join me in Connect with RevUp. Rev up your people management skills. It's a 4 week virtual management and leadership training program that I'm doing on Zoom. It will help you manage with confidence, communicate more effectively, and help build that resilient work culture. We're doing it in these Zoom times in four weekly sessions of an hour and a half on Thursdays, starting in January and 21st and going for 4 weeks. So, why would you want to attend this? Well, first of all, it better motivates and leads and engages others in your team. The second thing it does is it manages difficult and sensitive work conversations with confidence. And the third thing is it will boost your people management skills to be a more effective manager. So imagine it will build better relationships, it will build your confidence, and will help you grow your business and increase your revenues. This program is designed for small and medium sized enterprises, for startups and solopreneurs who really want to take their confidence in managing people to the next level. So, what do you get? Well, first of all, the 4 90-minute sessions that I said, this is virtual and interactive and really will help focus on your people management skills. The second thing is 2 45-minute one on one coaching calls with me to really hone in on your uniqueness and how you can build that confidence in your management skills. The third thing is a Fascination Advantage personalized report. This is an assessment tool that really helps you validate who you are and how the world sees you. Because when you speak with your what we'll call authentic languages, then you speak with confidence. And that's what we want to do. We want to bolster your confidence. The next thing is a workbook that will you can use throughout the course to really hone in on how you can target your confidence and your skills. And the last thing is a social network group that you can use during the course and even after. So here's some testimonials from people who have actually taken my course in the live days, and I'll just draw your attention to the one from A Ma, the CEO, and she said that she learned so much so quickly, and she found the course fantastic, not just fantastic, but fantastic, because we like to combine what you learn in very interactive way that results in you learning but doing it in a way that's enjoyable. So what is the value of this course? So all the things that I said, the training sessions, the coaching calls, the assessment tool, the workbook, and the support group is valued at $4,500. Now, remember, I said the conversation, one difficult conversation is costing you $7,500. Replacing somebody who leaves you can be 1.5 to 2 times, 3.5 times salary, depending on the position. So, what we're offering this course to you is for the price of $997. So think about that. That is a good investment when you think about what you can do right from the beginning in terms of saving costs and growing your business. Now, if you decide to pay in one payment, sorry, we will take $100 off that as a way of thanking you for paying upfront. So that cost actually goes down to $897. You can pay it in two payments. So the first payment would be $498 when you sign up, and then we would ask for $499 on the second week. If you really feel, yes, I would like to take advantage of this, I think I can learn so much, and if I could be more confident about how I manage, I know that I can build my business, then we want to help you. So if these payment options aren't quite um, right for you, speak to us because we're happy. Because my goal is to really help managers be that best version of themselves. I want to help you rev up your potential. So, as I said, for those of you who stayed to the end, I really want to thank you by giving you a special offer. And that special offer is an additional 75% off the cost of the training. And we will take that once off on either if you pay right at the front with a one-time payment, or if you do it in a two-time payment, we will take $75 off the first payment. So this offer is for those of you who have signed up and are ready to make the decision to invest in yourself and take the training on January 21st. This offer is time sensitive and it will be valid only until Friday, November the 20th at midnight. So do take the advantage of it. The code that you would enter is called REVUP Now. When you're prompted, that's the promo code, and that will give you the $75 off if you do that by midnight on Friday night. So I encourage you to sign up for my training program, and I thank you very much for attending the session today. Are there any questions at all? This is how you can get a hold of me. Any comments or questions? Jenny, anything on the chat?
No, I don't have any, but for everyone's reference, here is the website link to the RevUp training that Hilda just mentioned. Again, it's called RevUp Your People Management Skills, and it's for business owners and leaders who want to take their business to the next level with the people.
Okay. Well, if there's no other questions, I appreciate you coming today and joining us, and I thank you very much. And stay safe and have a great day. Thanks.